Welcome to another episode of Faith Focus, where we explore profound stories of faith and divine intervention. Today, we delve into the harrowing yet inspirational experiences of two survivors from the Columbine High School shooting, whose lives were transformed by what they perceive as miraculous events on that tragic day. Our first story centers on Gianna Thornby, a sophomore at Columbine High School in 1999. On the morning of April 20th, as she prepared for another day at school, she felt an inexplicable urge to leave the campus. It happened that she had received her car the very day before, and this was the first day that she was able to drive that new car to school. Prior to that, she was a pedestrian and therefore would probably not have left the school. But on this day, for the first time ever, she had wheels, and she followed that urge. And following this intuition, she convinced a friend and drove away just as chaos began to erupt behind them. Looking in her rearview mirror, she saw hundreds of her classmates fleeing from the building. Unbeknownst to her at the time, 10 of the 12 students killed that day were in the library, a place she would have been had she stayed in that school. This event marked the beginning of a spiritual journey for Gianna. Struggling to understand why she was spared, she began to see this experience as a divine sign. Over time, her quest for meaning led her to the Catholic faith. Encouraged by friends and youth ministers, she started attending Mass and eventually converted to Catholicism. Gianna took the name Sister Mary Gianna and joined the Disciples of the Lord Jesus Christ in Prairtown, Texas. She sees her survival as a springboard for her faith, dedicating her life to God and helping others find solace in spirituality. There's a great article written about them called Two Survivors Share Stories of Divine Protection and Healing, found in the Eucharist in the Catholic Register. Our second story highlights Frank DeAngelis, the principal of Columbine High School during the shooting. On that fateful day, Frank was in the office when the sound of gunfire shattered the morning calm. Rushing into the hallway, he found himself face to face with one of the shooters. His immediate concern was to protect the students nearby. Leading a group of girls towards the gym, he realized the doors were locked. With gunshots growing louder, Frank reached into his pocket and pulled out a key from a large ring. And in his dismay, most of the keys looked the same, and he didn't know which one it was. And yet, he didn't have time to sit there and figure it out, so he pulled one key out of the large ring, and on the first try, it unlocked the door. This act, he firmly believes, was divine intervention, and it allowed him and the students to find safety. In the aftermath, Frank grappled with guilt and questions about why he survived when others did not. Seeking answers, he found solace in his faith. A priest told him that his survival was part of God's plan, urging him to help rebuild the shattered community. Frank embraced this calling, dedicating his life to supporting students and families affected by the tragedy. He remained the principal until 2014, ensuring all students in the Columbine feeder schools during the shooting had graduated. And even in his retirement, Frank continues to honor the victims daily, reciting their names every morning as a tribute to their memory. Both Sister Gianna and Frank DeAngelis found new purposes in life through their experiences at Columbine. Their stories are powerful reminders of faith's ability to provide strength and direction in the face of unimaginable adversity. So whether it's an urge to leave that saves a life or a key that unlocks a door at a critical moment, these events challenge us to see beyond the ordinary and recognize the extraordinary ways faith can shape our journeys. Thank you for joining us on Faith Focus. As we reflect on these stories, let us be inspired to find strength in our faith and seek purpose in our own lives, even amidst the most trying circumstances. Stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to explore stories of faith, hope, and divine intervention. If you have a story to share or topics you'd like us to cover, please reach out and leave a comment. It really helps us when you do. Until next time, keep that faith alive.